composition, and then I'll see that they're transitioning to air, and I just get rid of some Marauders and get a bunch of Marines, and all of a sudden, like, it's way more powerful. It's interesting how much little changes are affecting that.
Okay. 6 minute game. Interesting.
Yeah.
What did he do?
I don't win games in 6 minutes, so he's
Okay.
he makes Phoenix, but he also made a bunch of gateways, warped in a lot of adepts, and killed me.
There's your gateway.
And I would say that I'm good against Stargate Oracle and Stargate Oracle into Blink. I'm bad against Phoenix generally, I guess. I feel like I can't. I generally don't make my medevac against when I see that it's Phoenix. I feel like they're just going to counter whatever drop I'm doing. But in this case, I feel like it would have been good if I could have gotten across the map because then I would have seen what he was doing. I don't know.
Work her way.
It's very tough. I feel like I'm in the dark against Phoenix. I feel like I can't push, and I feel like I'm in the dark. It's tough. I really don't know what to
Yeah,
do.
I feel the same way. But they're always around you or on top of you, and they could always pick off little workers like from your gas in the corners, even if you have turrets. Okay, Dubs comes in.
Taking unavoidable damage for free. I don't know.
Okay. Go with the Reaper. Go and see the Adept. Anything else? It's okay. You see another gateway down here, which doesn't really tell you that much actually. And they go back into the main. I like this decision. At this point now you can just sack it. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, see Phoenix first. And there's already this is your second mine. I think we should actually. I think what you should do. Yeah, actually, you should do what you're doing right now. But instead of building another tech lab on the factory, I would just put this factory on the starport tech lab. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So you can start a
Yeah.
cyclone right away. Because at first I was gonna say you can cancel the mine, but the mine was like already done, and it still helps you if you put it off to the edges since he doesn't have an oracle.
Mhm.
Um, but I
The edges make sense.
you don't know if the edges make sense.
What'd you say?
You don't know if the edges make sense.
No, I said yes. The edges. That
Oh, okay,
makes.
okay, okay.
Actually, in this game, I think that I got that tech lab on the starport accidentally.
Yeah, that happens. It's all good. Good.
How can
Okay.
my units that are walking keep up with units that are flying?
Then I would keep yeah, split it up like this. Excellent. Yeah, they'll do this. So this is just a positioning thing. Like, make sure your Viking is on top of your Marines.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hold position as well. And then, yeah. I mean, he hasn't killed a bit. Then he goes Zealot spam. Oh no. Actually, he spammed the depths off 5 gates.
I know, and I had no idea. Like, is there anything that I should have been doing to
Yes,
know more about what's going on?
this is really the issue. It's like there's a couple of transitions from the Phoenix play that make it a bit difficult for you when you play this 3 command center stuff. Because I think this 3 command center stuff is really good against people who go Stargate into Robo and 2 gas into natural. But
Mhm.
he goes he goes Phoenix into no gas, and then usually that would be like charge lot spam, which
Yeah,
would also kill you. But
yeah.
in this case it's the adepts. So I mean, uh, I think in this particular scenario, even if you had gone 3x for 3 CC, it would have been a little tough to hold. I think if you wall off the natural, you would have just held it no matter what.
So if I see Phoenix, should I just do 311?
That's the thing. Like, it's just a different. You're gonna end up playing a different kind of game. So like the best way I can explain it is that if you play 3 CC against people who go Phoenix into Colossus, it is really good for you because they can't really attack you for a while, and it lets you play a bit greedy and lets you like push this eco advantage. Um, and if you play 3x first before 3 CC, it is really good at like not dying to that early game stuff, which might just be better for you because I feel like that's what you would play the most, is that kind of stuff. Um, But sometimes what ends up happening is that, and especially something that happens to me a lot, is the phoenixes end up killing a good amount of workers from like around the edges and stuff like that. And then I feel like because I don't have 3CC, like I can't replace the workers as easily. And the SCV damage hurts quite a bit. So I think that if you do 3-1-1 before 3CC, I think it's fine, and it might be better for you specifically. At in this where you're at right now. But then just have to make sure that you really don't lose any workers. And you position your units properly, and try to just like stay really consistent with the macro, so that when you push across, like chances are you probably won't be able to kill them, especially if they play Colossus. But at the very least, like if they are playing Colossus, they have to shield battery spam the third. They have to like really respect the Phoenix, the push potential, and then that offsets the whole like you don't have a third command center yet, because then they can't play super greedy off the Stargate opener. So yeah, and then there's a couple of players that like, especially the Koreans, they love spamming medevac drops against Phoenix play, especially if they play Phoenix Colossus,
How does that make any sense?
because you kind of like you keep building Widow Mines, and you basically like you like doom drop the main when the Phoenixes aren't in position, and then the Widow Mines zone out so much stuff. And it's really hard for the Phoenixes to chase your medevacs, especially as you're leaving.
Widow mines with the
Yeah, with the
with,
drop. Yeah, I could probably find an example and show you, but like it's pretty crazy. You could try something like that. I've done it a few times. It actually worked for me, but I think it's a little bit. It's pretty dangerous. Or like risky. High risk, high reward, I guess.
interesting.
But yeah, there was no way you were gonna. He just has way more stuff than you, and he
Yeah,
didn't build any
I saw it
workers.
coming. I was just like, I saw it coming, and just as it just coming ramp, just like, oh, I'm dead now. So I didn't even like do anything. But
You saw the shade, and you're like, "This game's over." The fucking
fucking
bunny.
a.
But yeah, I mean, you could have like people say that walling. There's like no reason to not wall off the low ground. I feel like that's something I need to do too. I think it is very helpful, but I don't do it. But I should do it. So you could also try that. Maybe it would help a bit, especially against like the charge lot stuff. Um, but yeah, like, this is really hard. There's actually no way you would have seen this, and even if you like scan the natural, for example, you would have just seen two missing gases, and chances are you probably would have just thought you was spamming zealots. So
Probably true.
I mean, you could follow up scan the main, and even if you did though, like I don't know what you would have been able to do. Like maybe you wall off the low ground, but then you can never take your third, and you just have to keep waiting for stim in combat. But then they probe up the third themselves, and you're just gonna feel behind anyway.
It's also this sort of stuff is tough at this MMR for me. I feel like if I meet a player who's like 5K or 5.1K, then that player has their all in that only they do. And I've never seen it before, and now I'm starting to see it, but it's like, I don't know.
And you gotta recognize, you gotta like associate the playstyle with the player. Try to remember the next time you play them. Yeah, I haven't seen something like this either. Yeah, usually it's just adult stuff. This is pretty all in. Like if you went 3 racks first, you would have just held this, I think. And then he has no charge coming. He has no forge, no robo.
So you said that 3 racks is probably okay for me, but you still like to have the third CC?
Well, for me, because I actually like, especially because I know who I'm playing and I know their play styles, I can metagame it a bit easier, and I can be like, oh, this guy's definitely gonna play Colossus, and I'll just build a third base. You know what I mean? That's what it
If
is.
you so if you're playing like a stranger, you've never played this guy before, you'd be
Yeah, like
like,
I would play 3 racks first. Yeah, yeah, I would do that.
because it's safer, because you would generally want to do something with it.
It's safer. I think it's safer, and I feel like I like I know how to play out of it, so I would still be okay. But there wouldn't be like this clear advantage that I would have or something like that. Like ideally, if I played 3 racks and then I push across the map and then I see he has Colossus, I'd be like, oh man, like I wish I played 3 command center, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, all right. All right, so I will start playing 3-1-1 against Phoenix in particular.
Yeah, I can find you some games, some VODs or something. A lot of people
Sure.
play
I'll
um
take
3x.
3 racks is still the most popular thing, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really? I mean, I watch Hero Marines games, and he will do a 3-1-1 build, and he goes across the map and he kills his opponent. I
Oh yeah,
will
I've seen those too.
I will do a 3-1-1, and I'll get to the other side of the map. My opponent will have like 10 times as much stuff as Hero Marines friends, and I'm like, what's happening in my life?
Dude's
Can't
still
beat
on
this.
2 bases and like 40 probes. And he's just fucking croning his gateways halfway zealous. Alright.
I don't know. I feel like that works when your opponent is sane. His brain. I don't know. I don't know. The 3CC works way better for me in most of my games. I'm doing pretty well as long as I survive to the mid game against Protoss.
Then you could try playing the 3CC and just wall off the low ground every time.
I've been having success in the mid game with kind of maxing out, getting 2-2, and then playing like 40 supply on one side of the map and the rest of my army on the other.
Yeah,
That's been pretty good for me.
that's high level gameplay.
It's been pretty good for me. I've had some I have some fantastic losses to epic disruptor shots or dude warps in 6 DTs to defend and I wasn't looking. But, these things happen.
Oh yeah, I know the pain all too well.
Splitting against disruptors on one side, and then I find that 6 DTs killed 30 supply on the other.
I know it happens so fast. Like you feel like you've just seen the alert.
It's kind of like I was just thinking like I almost might just like if I see them gonna be that I'm gonna be like microing heavily on one side, I might just like scan my other army and then go micro the other side.
Have it already ready for the.
It's like fuck you. I'm not gonna.
Not gonna die to this shit again.
It feels bad. I've lost some games where I'm like this just a little bit of just like the scan away from having won the whole game. I had one game the other day where this dude was like way too aggressive on one side of the map. I was trying to take a fifth, but he was just like sitting there. So I just made the fifth CC a planetary. So I had two planetaries on the right side, and I was totally killing him on the other side. But then I took like two big disruptor shots, and I died. But it was just like,
That's
man,
all it takes.
just like so close to winning that game. It just feels like I don't know. In a way, it's better to lose that way because then I'm like, okay, well, like I know that everything was in order except that it wasn't just like that last game where I just got fucked completely.
Mm-hmm. Getting fucked completely is my specialty at
Let's
Protoss.
play 3-1 against Phoenix. That's my net. Um,
Oh, here we go.
my games this week are not overall as instructive as usual, but show it anyway.
Dang, 4.8K? Crazy MMR games.
We're getting there.
Let's see what this guy does.
I still melt every Zerg's face except for the Zergs that I don't.
The ones that you lose here, are they just like, are they higher MMR? What the fuck is 15
I
gas?
was just sometimes I play a Zerg and it's like, wow, this guy, okay, he just has infinite everything. And it does like sometimes it'll be like a 4.5k Zerg that has infinite everything. I'm like, what? This makes no sense to me. I don't understand.
Professional 80 droner. This guy's playing an old opener. Nobody does it anymore because it's bad. Okay, but SCV scout, you have a wall off.
Should we gas first?
Yeah, he went 15 gas, yeah.
I would say that I see gas first more often. I'm always confused by it because my scout gets there and his factory's already started like a good like 6-7 seconds before mine. I'm like, what was?
Yeah, you're confused. Like, why is this happening?
I mean, and I recognize that it's gas first, but I feel that it's been a long time understood that gas first is not as good as racks first, but
Yeah.
yet I still see the gas first more commonly. I just assume that people just don't really look at anything when I see that. But
There goes.
also, I hate I'm I'm always behind of my cyclone opening. Like I'm always in this position, and I feel like I can't do anything with my extra factory unit. Like I'm not taking advantage of whatever I get at this opening.
Like when you have oh, you went Cyclone Tank.
Yeah, where I go two Reapers, a Scout, and then I go Cyclone, and then I go Cyclone Tank and get the Raven. I feel
Yeah,
like I'm delayed on this low ground, and I end up a little behind. This guy's macro is terrible, but it doesn't show it. But I will often be like two workers behind. I have no map control. I feel like I can never move out because they have Reapers and Hellions outside my base. That's just gonna backstab me the moment I do anything.
yeah, but you're a whole tank ahead, and your Raven's almost done.
Yeah, but what can I do with that?
If you want it to be aggressive, you could be aggressive.
But
Two Raven
how do I
push.
defend against like what if this guy? What if this guy had all his stuff still alive and I move out? How do I not lose all the SCVs in my natural when I move out?
Well, I'd probably put this depot on the wall, or put a depot on that little cliff. That's what people have been doing recently. And then if they're still alive, depending on how much is alive, I might keep two or a few Marines on the top of the ramp. Just kill them. I probably wouldn't leave the Cyclone because I feel like I want the Cyclone because it is so useful. I would take it with me on the push and just leave a couple Marines there. Like right now, he just sacked all his Reapers, so after the second Raven comes out, I wouldn't be afraid of pushing across because now he only has the Hellion. Like, what's the Hellion gonna do? You know what I mean? If you wanted to, that is. Like, it's not necessary. Um, but that's just an idea. You're still fine here. Ah, you starport. Viking. Damn. Your two Raxes are faster. You have more workers. Third base nearly done. So what happens? eBay.
He's just gonna move out and kill me. And I'm gonna lose the game.
Let's see what you have. 12 Marines to 11 Marines. So you have one more Marine than he does. Same Viking count. Literally exactly the same army supply. We have no map vision.
So should I like instead of sieging there, should I like move back, get all
Oh,
my stuff together? Like what's the
like it's because you didn't see him
I feel like I saw him soon enough. Did I not? I mean this Marine
right
goes out
here.
there, it sees that he's here, and I see and my response is to siege.
No, I would F2 back here and bring the Viking and then bring your Raven. Yeah. And you don't even have to go all the way up the ramp. You could go like on the ramp itself, but just back up enough so that you have time for your Ravens to come. Your Raven Viking. Because actually, it's not even bad that you're sieged here, and especially if you target fire these tanks right now, like these Marines, these tanks would eat so many shots. But you want to have the Ravens to be able to cast your own turrets, you want to be able to land your Vikings and stuff like that. See that? Because right here, some of your tanks are shooting the auto turrets, which is not what you want. So
So I
had your
should be,
Ravens been here earlier, it would have been fine.
so I should be right clicking his tanks with my tanks.
Just it doesn't have to be a tank specifically. Basically, you kind of it's micro by this scenario. So like right here in this particular scenario, right here, all his units are bunched up. So whatever is bunched up, I want to hit the center of that. So all these Marines and Cyclones are bunched up. You have four tanks, and he didn't matrix a single tank. If you just target fire that middle with the four volleys, you would kill every single Marine and probably the Cyclone. And then even if he lands the Vikings and drops some turrets, you'd have your own turrets, your own Vikings, and you still have extra Marines left over. So you
Alright.
would destroy this fight. This is actually a really bad fight for him. You just died because your Ravens weren't there. That's it.
Because I didn't target the tanks.
Yeah, and then you have like one tank back here. So
Alright.
yeah, that's it.
Target.
Target fire with the tanks. If you see him coming, just back up a bit. Buy time for your Raven Viking. Sometimes what I'll do in these scenarios is I'll keep the Ravens with my tanks, and I'll only keep the Vikings over here in the airspace because I want the tanks to be defended with the Ravens. But I also understand like if you're for whatever reason like there was a drop, their Raven would be very helpful. But yeah, and then because he killed the Reapers when he went into your main, I would have just tried to take the towers with my Marines as I took my third, or before I took my third, and then you would have seen them coming more ahead of time, and then you would have had then you could have had the Vikings there and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, this happens a lot. This is very TVT loss right here. The power of the Raven. Oh, this guy.
You know this guy?
Where he streams. Here we go. Very nice. Oh, nice game as well. 14 minutes. Out. Probe. Okay. Next is for Cyber. Interesting. No
That's
res
extremely common in my games right now.
no
I would
respect
say
for
more
you.
common than Cyber first.
He doesn't respect you. Kane.
Can't really do anything about it. I do often wonder, like, sometimes I play against opponents who are so greedy, I'm like, dude, aren't ladder Terrans unhinged? Don't you lose, like, every game to... Because I know very few Terrans at this MMR who play even remotely standard. They're just all fucking psychopaths.
Oh yeah, I was playing Protoss the other day at this MMR range because I'm 5K, and everyone just eBay blocking me and playing 2 gas openers.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. Like, these guys going, like, Nexus first. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? I know what your opponents are like. I played Protoss at this MMR range. Your opponents are
Buffoons.
fucking unhinged.
Okay, so you scout to Stargate and you see Phoenix first. That's very important for you to know. So fun fact, actually, these kinds of players who play Phoenix first, no Oracle. If you ever remember they play like this, if you do an Armory Widowmine drop, it's so nasty. Yeah, so this guy's playing the Phoenix charge slot thing, it seems like. So this would be a scenario which, yeah, which 3-1-1 would be kind of nice. But it seems like you survive, so I'm curious to see what happens here.
I don't remember this one super well.
I like the positioning. He takes 2 gases, goes robo. Additional gates. Yeah. Get your gas. Combat. X's. Yeah, at this point here, you could just, to make it easier for yourself, you can now add a turret in each base. And then put a turret in your production. Nice. Just Academy. Excellent. On Widow Mines. You can scatter your Widow Mines as well if you want. The turret in the production would be nice here. But it doesn't do too much.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It's actually the same thing with the mutants. If you put the turret like right here, right on top of the factory, it actually is somewhat in range of the mineral line of your third.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
yeah, you kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which is very nice. He never attacks you. He goes to a robo, Colossus. This guy is disgusting, dude.
Why?
Some disgusting Protoss gameplay. Actually, I'm gonna play like this now when I play Protoss. Phoenix into charge. Maybe one Oracle to be safe. Okay, you get shockwaves. Push across. So he has like 20 more supply than you, but he also has no workers. The 60 probes, 64th. Yeah, I don't know. I think first you should try to scout what he has before you push. I think this is actually bad. Yeah, just kill you. By the way, right here, this is the scenarios I'm talking about. Like he's got 4 or 5 phoenixes, a couple of widow mines. If you did have like 4 more medevacs, you could actually just like go in here and then do the widow mine thing I told you about. I gotta show you what that looks like first though. Okay, right, SCC disruptors. Okay, but yeah, that part. Just try to see what he has first before you attack. He did have a lot of stuff. Okay, no map vision on the top side here. Oh, it's gonna hurt you. Oh, nice snipes. Especially now, like as your bio count gets larger, and now you have ghosts.
And then he had that there on the watchtower. Fuck him.
Oh, the zealots.
No, go back. You missed it.
What do you
Go
have on the
back. Look what happens to me when I move back out.
Oh, the probe.
Nah.
Fuck. Oh, I missed it. You're right. Oh my god, that's so tilting. Yeah, he plays nasty. Oh, but see what I mean with the widow mines? Just killed like every single phoenix. Oh, you actually probably would have won the game there.
I feel like I was just on my game-winning push, and he's like, "Nah, I got a disruptor at the watchtower out of nowhere."
I'm trying to think of if I don't have a replay of anybody that plays like that. The drop thing. I gotta find it. Okay. Oh, actually, I have a replay myself doing it. I can show you. Oh, but I'll send it to you later, I think, because that'll take me some time to find it. Okay, kill. Okay, nice. Planetary. So I think after you chase this, you need to. I mean, you actually don't lose that many workers. Really, what you want to do now is. Damn, that's a fuck ton of zillies warping in. I was gonna say is control one side and drop the other side. Um, I think your command center is misplaced, by the way. Yeah, it is. Right?
Or up. You're right.
You're
You're
fourth.
right.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. So like, because that what he warped in right now was literally just his army, and then right here, if you can afford it, judging by the way he's just been playing, I know he has a couple of disruptors, but he's must have been playing Colossus. Like you need a second starport, and you actually have the money for it. But I think because you've been having to defend every single thing that's been happening, especially the different pushes of the zealots across on the different sides of the map, it's just really hard to be able to keep spending your money and control everything. So
This would be a good game to have widow mines spread out as well.
yeah, exactly. Just have them here. Like you're not gonna kill the zealots, of course, but you know, one Widowmine shot might get hurt a couple and just give you the notice that they're coming. And here's saw the disruptor balls. I feel like he could have kept pushing here. I'm not sure why he didn't, but upgrades are not terrible. Then you
I'm
have to
really
choose.
low on medevacs for some reason. I guess because of the Phoenix, maybe.
Yeah. And there's no map vision here, so yeah, that was kind of messing you up a little bit.
Widow mines. Spread out the widow mines.
But out the mine. This guy would be the kind of person to run into all of them, by the way. So
I had these mines are there.
yeah,
Whole game.
the whole game.
Shoot everything that goes past forever.
That was a really tough disruptor ball. And then yeah, and then you know if the Zealot run by, they're giving you a hard time. Like if you want to squeeze the Liberator, put on the third, and put a bunker on the third, that's also okay. But yeah, you've just been needing to build some Vikings, which you haven't been able to do. Um,
It's tough to get the Vikings though, because I feel like I need medevacs, because I keep having these fights, and these medevacs are like totally empty.
yeah, and they just die too. The Phoenixes.
Marauders need to lose less HP when they stim, because they just drain the medevacs completely.
Oops. I think as soon as you kill all the Phoenixes, you should definitely start abusing drops. And either because he doesn't have blink, but you want to make him build stalkers or more Phoenix, but he probably shouldn't have building stalkers anyway. Because right now he's getting away with just spamming zealots and just sending them into your base, but you don't want him to be able to do something like that. Or like this DT stuff. Want him to dump the gas. And then there's no turret on this PF. They're just kind of... Oh, what the fuck? 6 scan. You saw that. Yeah, this turret is really cool. I like that. Okay. That hurt my soul. If he just had Vikings, he'd been fine, dude. So fine.
It's true.
I think when you see something like this, I think on paper it looks easy to fight. I think the number of Colossus he has is really high. But I
Just
would have.
killed 9 units with his disruptor before the fight started too.
Yeah, it's exactly. I feel like what I would rather you do here is upon seeing this here and realizing there's absolutely no anti-air, I would just load up and go this way. It forces a recall.
Should I just get a second starport when I have my fourth
Yeah,
base?
yeah, yeah, you should.
It's like just generally speaking.
Yes.
Whether I use it or not, just to have it, because I may need more medevacs or Vikings or whatever, and I want to be able to get it quickly.
A Rax, 2
These
Starport, and then
Liberators take 8,000 years to produce.
they do take a long time.
Buff the Liberator, make him take fucking 30 seconds to build.
Dude, because the thing is, you're actually trading better. He like keeps inting a lot of his stuff, and that's after you lose all your bio to the disruptor shots. So
How can I
wait,
defend
jeez.
that base better?
You need
Should
it.
I leave Widow Mines there
Yeah, yeah.
mostly?
Put like 2 Widow Mines. Yeah, 1 Liberator and a PF isn't enough. You have to, even with the nerf, you have to add more Widow Mines.
So I should have had like two, just like, yeah, so I put 2 Widow Mines there now.
Yeah, I would put 2. I would kind of spread them out more. Actually, I would try to put 1 farther up here, and then 1 over here next to the command center, so that way, if he blinks to miss one, he runs to the other one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this guy's not doing that. Look at his APM.
So he's gonna run into both. Exactly. So yeah, this guy trades really bad. He just ends up winning because he has more money than you. Um, and just like kills you that way. But yeah, man. So like this push definitely was not great, and I think it's you just didn't see how much army he had. Also, you're not building medevacs right now, which is why you probably feel like you had no medevacs. You haven't built anything from your starport. So nothing. Now you built something. So you missed. You probably would have had 2 medevacs, so 3 plus 2 more. So you could have had 5 medevacs soon, but you missed the cycle. So be careful with that. It's very important. And then scatter the Widow Mines, like we talked about.
Scout the Widow Mines. Liberator and 2 mines to defend. I can get a bunker and a Liberator for this
Yeah,
base.
for your 3rd. Yeah, exactly. And then that shot hurt. I won't lie.
Stop doing that.
If you kill the Phoenixes, or you kill most of the Phoenixes, you can start doing big drops on this side of the map. While you defend the Zealot run by. Sensor towers would also be very good here. And then I don't have to go over taking the fights because you already know how to take the fights. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, this guy has nothing, no anti-air. Like one, if you just pick up, you're not building anything from your start part, by the way. Look at your
Right.
start part production is very inconsistent this game. But like I said, I'm pretty sure the reason why was because you were so focused on all this shit that was happening right now. It was like the last thing you were thinking about, but you really needed that because you could have had like 4 more medevacs right now.
Yep.
And then after the 8 racks, you can build a second starport. And then yeah. Oh my god, that hurt me. That hurt me. Stop chasing disruptors, by the way. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like even just like 1 medevac on the other side of the map would have helped you a lot. At least it's just like delay or kill some probes on the 5th. Yeah. Workers. Drop your meals, by the way. You have like 400 meals. There you go. Drop them. Don't stim your whole army for this kind of stuff, by the way. Try to stim the forward part. If you don't have any medevac energy. I'm conservative with that. Okay. I think that's it. Yeah. And then you have so many Colossus, just build Viking. So I'm about the Liberator. It's like only build the Liberators to defend your bases, and then if he ends up like going really ham on the disruptor count, then you can go ahead and start like producing more Liberators. But it's only like 3 or 4. You don't need to build anymore. You don't need to build any. Oh, she hurt my soul. Okay, and I think that's it. Dang, I shouldn't have relived that moment. That was painful.
Making me relive that moment over and over again. Oh.
Actual pain. Stressing me out.
Alright, let's show you a game where I lose to DT drop.
I forgot we talked about that. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Your opener would be the one to die to DT drop, so
I got like no reaction turrets. This guy actually mind gamed me the next game too, because I played him shortly after, and he did what looked like the same thing, but it was 4-gate blink, and I died to that too.
you don't know how to tell the difference?
No, not from what I see. What would you? I mean,
Okay, let's talk
I don't always,
about
I
it.
don't always get to see that much. That's why I was asking about, like, if I see a twilight, can I scan it?
I think.
Because usually, like, to see the twilight at all, I had to dive my Reaper and lose it to see it.
Hmm,
I don't have a Hellion to do follow-up scouting. Pretty much all I'm gonna have is Widowmine drop. It's gonna be the next thing that comes out that's gonna see anything in his base. I will usually send an SCV out to see if he's taking a third base.
Oh, you have 3 Marines, or just 2? Crazy.
Well,
Bases.
I started trying that because against players like this who build the battery and they send the adept across the map, I feel like if I have 3 Marines, then I can fight against the adept without sending the Reaper home, and then I can just get this full scout without losing the Reaper most of the
Right.
time if they send that first adept across the map.
True.
That's
Alright,
my thinking. That's why I did that.
look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, this Reaper. After you see the Twilight, you need to go down here, go back around this way, and check the robo on the wall. He's not building another gateway unit, so he's saving the gas, right? He's built a Zept and a Stalker, and if he wants to build a Dark Shrine right after the Twilight Council, he can't build anything from the gateway. So you go down, you go to the go to the wall. Ah! Because the robo is really fast. The robo was down at like 310. He was started building the robo. So if you go right here, if you went right here, and you saw the robo was finished way before the next 2 gates, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Usually the robo will be finishing around the same time the second gateway is finishing, or some way closer than whatever this is, because the robos are already done, and this gateways aren't even close to being done yet. And then it's also kind of weird because you saw that he didn't build any other gateway units, but he went Twilight Robo 3 gate. It's kind of sus. So to me, this would look like DT drop. But you didn't. The part that you were missing was rechecking his wall and seeing the robo timing. Especially if you face check this wall.
What if my Reaper died to see the twilight?
What if your Reaper dies to see the Twilight?
Which is, I mean, if he didn't send that adept across the map, then seeing the twilight would probably have been a death sentence for the Reaper, because he would have it at home.
You go across, see the Twilight. That one is tricky. Then you wouldn't be able to.
He's still
So,
not making the unit out of the gateway.
but that's why people started building Hellions after the Reaper.
Yeah, but I gotta do my mind drop.
I know, I know, I know. So that at this point here, because you don't know, you'd have to save scan, and then I have to see how you defend this with by saving scan. Because right now I'm confused because it seems like you. What's the last meal you dropped? You greedy bastard! You dropped an extra meal, didn't you?
I
Ah,
needed
the supply drop!
the supply drop in this
Oh
game.
my god, dude. You should have had like 2 to scans or 3 scans. And then what you should do actually is you should wall off the low ground. Okay, we're gonna start doing that now.
We just wall off the low ground
Wall
all the
off the
time.
low ground all the time. If you wall off the low ground and then you have the 2 scans, you automatically win because you don't have to scan the low ground because you can't break through it and you can kill the TTs at the top. Oh my god, bro, you could have had like, yeah, you would have had nearly 3 scans. Ah! Okay, that's what we're gonna do, okay? So wall low ground, especially if you do this build. Let's say that, especially if you're gonna play a build that doesn't have a TT, I mean doesn't have a Raven. or something like that, I would just wall the low ground and then save the scans. Don't get supply blocked, and then you'll be fine otherwise. Yeah. And then if you have some crazy APM, then you could defend the DT drop and spam the Widow Mine drop on the other side of the map.
That's what
Ah.
I saw the stalkers there, so I didn't.
No, you should have still gone for it. I would have still gone for it. It's one thing to have the stalkers there, but do you think he's going to be good enough to deal with the DT and micro the prism or the probes? Exactly.
He micros probes at his third base just now.
Oh, he's not controlling the warp prism anymore. Oh, you're not building workers. Wait, this is macro. Okay, check lab. eBay. So surprisingly, you're still alive, dude. Wait. Ah!
Macro's terrible in this game.
Mule. Okay, good. Starport production. Okay, after 4 medevacs, Vikings. And we need Widow Mines. And you forgot concussive shells.
I do. I feel like.
Dude,
I feel
hold
like
on.
the. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Legit, dude. Legit. If you didn't get supply block so much, I think you still would have won this game.
I believe it.
Okay, that's all I want to say. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So if I do 4 medevacs and it's 4 medevacs into Vikings,
Yes.
how can I play with that? Because I feel like if I attack one place, then he's going to be able to zone me out with disruptors the whole time. I'm not going to be able to actually do anything.
Yeah.
Versus
So.
if I play with a lot of medevacs, and if I can play on two sides of the map,
Uh huh.
then I feel like I have more success with that. And I'm not, and I know that the wisdom is four medevacs and then get Vikings, but I have no idea how to play that successfully.
Okay. If you do 4 medevacs in Viking, it is definitely more of a frontal push, and it would definitely that push would definitely involve the use of your ghost. To like EMP the center, like the core of the Protoss army, and then try to get an engagement, like force an engagement. If you want to play, if you like playing the split pushing with the medevacs, that's okay. And you can keep doing that, but then at some point, I would definitely add Vikings, and you should just like not obviously stall and make sure you don't lose any of your army, so that you can get the Vikings out. But with the frontal push, you can do something like do 6 medevacs and then have 2 do a drop, and then kind of do the same thing, except instead of splitting an army in half and doing half and half, you could do like most of the army here and then 2 medevacs here or something like that. And then you would have like 2 less Vikings, but it might help you force a mistake. You know, like draw out the army this way, push into here, and then have his army go back this way, and then you push into the base. Then I would add. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, you forgot. That? Yeah. You forgot because it shows still.
I got an extra eBay by mistake because I forgot that I built the eBay for the DTs.
Oh, it's down there.
So
Yeah.
you're not seeing Nidal free. You're missing that I have a third eBay.
Oh my god. Just splash damage abuse. Okay. But yeah, dude, like your macro, despite losing, you're like 15 workers behind, and you almost caught up to the 3 command center. But your macro, your supply blocks are hurting you so bad. And then so yeah, right here is like where you're super behind on workers. But if you just keep grinding out the macro, like his Colossus, he's got his first Colossus coming out now. Yeah, first Colossus coming out now. He hasn't started Blink. He does have Charge now, but he doesn't have Thermal Lancer +1, so you have some time to like be able to catch up and like build an army. So fix the macro here, add some more stuff. Let's see right now. You can build 2 medevacs. Oh, you build 1 medevac. Actually, you missed it. You missed a medevac here. I think because of the gas. Yeah, because of the gas. Okay, medevacs. So if you're more consistent with your medevac production, you'd actually have like 4 medevacs now, or 5 medevacs now, and then you could also build Viking afterwards. Yeah. So be a bit more consistent when you start per prediction. Again, right here is the same thing. Your factory and your starport. Those are the two things. This is like super normal though, so don't stress
Should
about
I
it.
still be like, I mean, I get in these positions where it's like I see it's Colossus, Disruptor, Storm. It's like, do I want to be still focusing on the Widow Mine production?
You don't have to. If
I
you
guess
think
I guess I can spread the Widow Mines out.
I like it because I can spread the Widow Mines out exactly, and then they're always gonna end up warping in zealots anyway. So it's good to have extra. Like, am I gonna want to have like 15? Definitely not. Like, I'd definitely stop if I realize I had too many Widow Mines. But I think at the moment right now you should add some because you need anything you can get because you're behind, and you especially want that map vision because otherwise you don't have any map vision right now, and you're not gonna see him moving out right now. You're not gonna see any run bys if they were to happen. But yeah, and then at this point here, you could have had like three Vikings at least, and then now you're getting the ghost. And I'm not gonna tell you that you would have won the fight because you would have had like three more Vikings, but it's just an example to show you like what you're missing
Oh.
out.
But if I were positioned better and I had a
Yeah,
couple ghosts,
I'll cave here. If you have map vision,
yeah.
exactly. But do you
Like
see
if
what
he
I
weren't,
mean? Sorry, go ahead.
if I could be kiting away from his storms and disruptors without him simultaneously killing my base, then it would be okay.
Yeah, you would have been fine there if you just were in position. But do you see what I mean about the timing of the stuff
I mean, which stuff?
of the DT?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the lack of the gateway unit and the robo before any upgrade from the twilight.
The War Prism or
I don't think that I don't think did I have vision of it, or did it just like skip by? I didn't see it, but
yeah, I just want to see. Dude.
I didn't see it. It may have passed through my vision. I should have looked.
Oh, I did. You were looking at your right. You were looking at your Reaper too.
Maybe I did see it. I don't know.
You were looking at your Reaper. It barely showed, dude. Look at your vision right now. Oh no. You saw it too. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah. All right, let's look at the 4K Blink one. We can
I didn't actually save that one.
Ah,
That one I thought it was gonna be DT again, so I didn't.
so I wanted to show you the difference between the two of the timings. But usually you could tell if it's 4 gate or 3 gate blink if they keep building stalkers and they're building up that stalker count. But if you keep that Reaper alive and you're able to face check that wall and see that he has like 2 or 3 more stalkers, it can't be a DT drop. Okay, because he can't afford it gas wise. So you'd only be able to have one stalker and one adept for that long into the game, like 430, to be able to warp in the 3 DTs across the map. And but yeah, so walling off the low ground, saving the scan, don't call down supply. And then if you want to, you can still do the mine trap at the background as you defend, but I don't know if you're confident enough with the multitask.
That is what I want to do. That's I feel like I need the counter damage.
All right, excellent.
All right, let me just show you one more.
PVT on glittering
Was
asses.
insanely confusing to me. Insanely confusing to me. And I just was too confused and then I died.
Pain. Oh, this is a long game. I like it.
I'm in. He goes for a proxy battle cruiser. and I respond with more factories, but then he goes bio behind it, and then I'm playing mech against bio, and if I'd spread my tanks better, I would have won, but I don't know, I just wasn't good with it. I lose to this kind of player most times I play them, I guess. They just kind of yeet units at me until I die.
I
And
know.
I review it, I'm like, oh, if I had better positioning, I could have won, but or if I'd been smarter in the beginning, it didn't let them fuck me up so bad.
The Reapers. Okay. Any sense?
It's suspicious that he doesn't have a starport, but
Yes.
I thought that I just didn't. I thought that I just.
Nah, this, right here. Right here, it should have been a alert for you. Yeah, that he's he either hits the starport or he proxied it. Honestly, honestly, if I was in your position, I saw that, I definitely would have guessed battle cruisers.
Just because missing starport.
Yeah, missing starport and he went Reaper Hellion and 2 gas. Yeah, I feel like because right now he took a base, so like, what would even be the reason for him going proxy starport? Like, what is he gonna do? Build a liberator right now just for me to have 2 cyclones and kill it? Like, it's possible that yeah, that's his thought process. He's just bad, but I don't know. I feel like it'd be something like a battle cruiser or a cloak banshees, one of those two.
I mean, it's not even the fact that he makes battle cruisers isn't what fucks me up. It's the fact that he transitions to bio. I thought he was gonna.
Oh yeah, this is a thing. People do this too. You just scout afterwards. Don't blindly assume. Like, yeah. Oh no!
And also, what the fuck is this, dude?
A little push out.
Did you see what the push he just? Did
Yeah,
you
I
actually
saw
see
that. I saw
how
that.
many SCVs were in the push he just sent at me? So that happened to me. I'm like, okay, is this guy
Yeah, you
just
go
dead now?
across. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing, but I would keep. Yeah, okay, nice. You keep units at home. Ah! Okay, yeah, that was. You jumped the gun there. Sure.
I mean, but could I have done anything? Because he could have just Yamato'd my.
I think
Uh,
here, when you see this, I think it's actually really good for you because you see a BC. You get the other. You see 3 tanks and a bunch of marines. Your third base is already landed, dude. He has a lot of stuff, and including battle cruisers. If he's building another battle cruiser, let's say, then he doesn't have. There's no way he has the third base. So instead of committing, I would back up and I would scan the main because I want to see what I'm dealing with first. Because if I see that he's just all letting me on 2 bases, I don't want to throw away any of these units, you know. And then if I see he's taking a third, then my thought process there might be like, okay, he's building a third. That's 400 minerals. Is a lot of money for a guy who just built 3 tanks, a battle cruiser, and he's got a bunch of marines on top of whatever was lost over here. So in my head, that would either mean he's halted the battle cruiser production. He's still building battle cruisers, which means I'm somehow infinitely behind because he's richer than me, despite me having 3 bases, you know, or something like that. So it's very tough for you. But yeah, always scan. Just make sure that what you're playing against is Mech, not bio. It does happen. But otherwise, right here, you're very ahead, but you want to be able to start building tanks and stuff. And then stop being lazy. Look for the proxy.
I see. I had no idea that it was a proxy.
Has to be
I
a
thought that he
proxy.
was just building it like here or something. I didn't see it.
And then it's just very hard for you to break out of this because you don't have any tanks. You're building cyclones at first.
Air control though. I just need my 43-second liberators to finish.
Oh yeah. Pain. Yeah, dude. Otherwise, you're actually really ahead, and you were completely fine. You just didn't scan the main, and you misread the situation, which is fine. It's a simple loss. Like, this is very fixable. But just do that. This is not very common at all, but I've seen it a few times from like the people that I've coached. Like somebody just like going by behind a battlecruiser build. And I feel like it's more so the surprise factor that gets people, not even so much that it's good. But yeah, I mean, you're trading much better. Just kill the base. And then here, this is the hard part about this playing mech on this map, is that it's very hard to defend all your bases. I think right here now you've established a pretty good start for yourself, and I would start sensor tower, 2 sensor towers in each base, and I would just start spamming siege tanks and Vikings, and just set up your defense first, and then get that. Yeah, extra. Once you get the extra reactor, you can start building Hellions. But right here, you need map vision. You have no vision at all, and so repair some of your mech units. Yeah, and then for these tanks right here, I would put them a bit closer to cover this side. You don't want them to go up the ramp for free. And then for this middle part right here, you'll just have to keep some tanks on the edges here. Does that make sense?
A little closer to what, like, you mean like to like the upper right of the planetary?
Yeah, yeah. Let's just move farther up. Yeah, probably in line with the sensor tower where your 2 Hellions are.
Okay.
You put like 3 or 4 tanks right there. And you want to cover that ramp, yeah, with the planetary. And then and then you want to do the same thing with this middle ramp right here. Is when you want to have like a couple of tanks right up on the ledge there, so you can hit the ramp. It's really, really hard to defend properly on this map. But yeah, once you establish your defense right now, then it's a matter of just spamming Hellions and spamming Liberators across the map to do your eco damage. And then what you're hoping for is what this guy is doing, where he overcommits for one of these bases and loses too much bio, and then that gives you space to push across the map. That's why I like the medevacs. I would do the same thing. But your mistake is just like you for whatever reason you didn't siege any of your tanks here, even though you saw he was outside. What are you gonna say?
No, yeah, I saw that he wasn't playing Vikings, so I thought I could play Hellbats.
Oh, that's good. I would
Eight.
do the same thing. Yeah, this should not have traded this well against you, but you were just unsieged. So yeah, and then now you actually have a good amount of monies, but that even things out for sure because you're actually in a really good spot at that point. Um, and then here, if you realize they're not building any air at all, if you manage to like successfully turtle on these bases with the tanks, they could actually even build battle cruisers before Raven. Force them to switch into air and then just park your BCs in the corners right here. This place is super toxic.
Is BC a natural transition from Mech?
I would say so, yeah. From Viking
I guess,
tanks
I guess
to
the Ravens don't do as well if you don't have a good group of Marines that can do any dives or anything.
he was like barely holding on. But yeah,
Makes sense.
when he broke right here and killed that many tanks, that was what did it for you. Nice Liberator us. Excellent. Like that kind of thing would definitely be nicer to do earlier, but you just weren't in a position to do that. You guys are spamming bio. Yeah. So once you successfully like stabilize on this 4 base count with the tanks, and you take a fifth. Behind that, I would start going for BCs, especially if they're not playing air at all. Um, and then start up using the BCs, and then that'll give you some breathing room so that you can like maybe push across with tanks or take another base behind that all. Um, and then yeah, but this just all comes back from the beginning, like I said earlier. Just make sure you know that they're playing mech or yeah mech first.
Yeah.
And try to like consistently compare and contrast your position to their position. Just think about like from what he has, how far ahead could he be? Yeah, that base is super fucked. Yeah, just never take that one. Just take that. This is the open area. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. All right. Cool.
Fairly
Thank you.
straightforward. Excellent.
Excellent. You lost a lot of games this week.
Yeah, but what's your MMR now?
It's about the same, 4,800.
Yeah, that's sick. You had a way worse tilts.
No,
Excellent.
I'm doing well. See, I a lot of my losses are against 5K players, and I don't lose as many points. So even if I lose a lot of games, it's not as bad, I
Impactful.
guess.
Yeah,
I
that makes
kind of
sense.
like. I would say that I win like 9 out of 10 times against people below like 4,600 right now. So it's kind of like I feel like I have more of a floor now, I guess. The floor is a little higher.
But yeah, five. You're gonna get 5K soon. You, like right now, all these games I watch, you just lost to some random stuff. There's very easy solutions, like I keep saying. So
I'm gonna
very
need to up.
excited.
I feel I'm gonna need to up my TVZ game before I get there.
Why? I thought you were owning Zergs.
I am earning Zergs, but like sometimes I have more games now where I play it and doing stuff in the mid game, and then they're on Hive Tech before I even know what happened. I'm like, I only got to attack like twice, and now you're on Hive Tech,
Okay.
and it's like
We might
I
have to.
don't see the see part of what happened also is I feel like I had solved Lurker. I had mastered versus Lurker. But now everyone's playing Lingbane Ultra against me, and they're just like storming through all my bases. And I'm like, well, I kind of suck against this.
You said Ling Bane Lurker.
Lingbane Ultra.
Oh, Ultra.
Yeah.
Probably off the
It's
back of a lot of
like
money.
it seems to just it's the Lingbane Ultra seems to just like pass through in a wave, and even if like we trade, they just seem to always get the CC for their trouble.
Mm-hmm. And it's worth it for them.
Yeah, it's worth it for them because they're like, I have a million drones and 8,000 bases, and I'm like, that was my fifth base. I needed that to live,
Now you dead.
and now I'm dead, basically. And so I may say like, oftentimes what'll happen is we'll have like mid game stuff. It'll go like, oftentimes it'll even go like I would say it goes well. Like I'll be like I'll be trading really well, and I'll be up like 30 supply, but then they get into the hive tech, and before long they can storm one of my bases, and I can't get the fifth base, and then I'm dead. I run out of money.
Okay.
And I feel, and I like, once they're on any hive tech, I don't really have success with the widow mines anymore. It feels like I need it feels like I need the tanks
Okay.
to live. I don't know. I don't know. It's tough. It just I haven't had any. I gotta start saving some TVZs.
Yeah, say so. I'm curious. I think we're gonna have to get stricter with your timings now.
Yeah,
Because it sounds like what's probably happening is you feel like the game is more even than it is, but they have enough money to have an army and get the hive and still have a lot of drones, and that's exactly what we don't want to happen. So might be something else going on, like with your pushes and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna get a little stricter on your timings now and your micro.
dude.
So yeah, we'll talk about that one for the next one.
All right.
Nice.
Sounds good.